Greetings and good day, YouTube. How are you doing today? I myself am pretty excited to start a new adventure in Metal Gear Solid 3. We're continuing the Metal Gear franchise playthrough from early July. I know I played Metal Gear Solids 1 and 2. Took a little bit of a hiatus to get to finish with the rest of Elden Ring. And now whilst we're going through Fallout 3, we're also going to be going through Metal Gear Solid 3. We should be able to do New Game Plus. Yeah, Operation Snake Eater completed, this was the last time we played this game, so this should give us access to a couple of other things. Really the only one that I care about playing New Game Plus, basically, because you get quite a few goodies.
World War II, the world
was split into two, East and West.
This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
I'll let this play out. Be right back. Want a second one of these hard root beers? Oh. Well, yeah, we're gonna chill for a little bit, enjoy the show. This is technically the start of all of it, right? Like I said, this is gonna be chock full of spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers for the Metal Gear franchise as a whole, do not tune in.
Altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
But this is basically going to give you, this game is going to give you all the information for the lore of Metal Gear.
All right, you ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good, we've got high visibility.
That's a can opener. I want the bottle opener. Fun fact, if you start New Game, and you say you prefer playing Metal Gear Solid 2, you get a mask that looks like Raiden. And there's a whole little extra cutscene where it's like, this isn't right, as you take the mask off, Raiden's mask. And that is important. Also, our name that they know us by.
Approaching release point.
There are a couple of glitches like that.
Are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
I really wonder how much they're going to change for the remake of this game, because if they don't change anything, it's not a remake. A remaster, I would call it, but not a remake.
Depressurization complete. Checking oxygen supply. 6 minutes to drop off.
Dead Space, personally, is one of the best examples of a remake. We're getting a little bit of, oh god, my apologies for this.
Sunrise.
This didn't happen last time. I don't remember that happening last time. What the fuck is up with that visual? Whatever. It looks, oh.
External temperature.
It looks okay.
6 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
The FPS dropped. What the fuck? Do I have an option set or something? I might have an option set. I'll have to figure that out later.
Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill. 1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear. Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
I'll have to look at the options. Because I don't remember this doing
10
this.
seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green. Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's fine right now. It's fine right now. It's perfect. Little bit of an FPS drop there, like a little bit of one. There's another one. the audio sounds a little bit slow when it's doing that. But yeah, that's the opening right there. Boom, opening. Love to see it. Love to
Jack,
see it.
I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back
It is
then.
funny how much this is ingrained in my memory,
We got
man.
Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile
I'm just gonna
shipments.
sit back and enjoy the show before I say
But the
anything.
Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They
They
wanted
want
us to return
Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice.
They're showing you
President
pictures
Kennedy
of what
gave in to Khrushchev's
Sokolov was
demand.
working on, by the way.
The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital.
The
Handed him over
Shagohod.
to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more,
That's
it's on
gotta
the verge of
suck.
completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No.
Missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
Selino-Yarsk.
Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov
The
must have
research
known
facility
that
is
too
something
when he
we'll go
contacted
to
us.
later. In this game, you can press the R1 button at any time. And like a lot of the times it will tell you, it'll give you a prompt, be like, hey, press R1 to see in first person. But there are hidden R1s that will allow you to see first person. So I always try and hold R1 the entire time just to see if they show you anything.
Listen up, Jack.
Like,
your mission is to
here, I
infiltrate
don't think it's a hidden
Selino-Yarsk in
R1.
the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
You can also move around a little bit.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock
We'll
is
also be
ticking.
facing a major crisis if we get caught. Because we got U.S. Army shit all over us. The planes overhead.
Once
And
we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point.
we gave Sokolov
recovery balloon will be
to the
dropped at that
Russians
point.
in this world.
Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes
The Fulton
about
recovery
20 minutes.
system. That's what you see in Metal Gear Solid 5 and
Once it's complete, the gunships
Other
will
games
latch
that have
onto the
that.
balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
there's a couple things that I could probably show off. One of them would require us to take a little bit of a break from playing this game, but we won't get there. We'll get there later. We don't got to worry about that right yet. Almost off the edge. Oh man, I'm excited. I don't know all the secrets there is to know about this game. I know there's a lot of secrets that I don't know about. I know that one of the secrets, you have to shoot all the little kappas in each area. And if you do that and beat the game a certain way or a certain amount of time or some shit like that, you get goodies. Also, I think we're going to go through and we're going to stealth kill everybody we possibly can. I'm trying to think about how we can get certain things. I'll have to save it at a certain point and make sure I go back to that save at a certain point to show off the thing that I want to show off.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission.
That's one of the
You must
cooler
not be
things
seen by
right
the enemy.
there.
You must
Codename
leave no
Major
trace of your
Tom.
presence. Is that
Fucking
clear?
changes right
This
there.
kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's
Love that.
speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time
This is going to be a
right.
long playthrough.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and
Press the action button.
I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call
Same
if I need
exact
to talk to you.
same exact
You
codec
need to talk to
frequency
me, use the
as it's
send
always
button.
been.
Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
This is a little bit weird. The audio here, not audio, but the visual here is a bit off. I don't know why. It seems like it. Like this is supposed to be leaves and stuff like that. I think. Life medicine. If you do it right, you can actually. It's a speedrun thing, I think, to go up there and do a jump, and you like land on top of the thing up there. Also, there's a snake right there. But we're probably not going to get any food consumed or anything like that on this section. This section we're going to get through pretty fast, if I'm being honest.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance.
I don't know if this
You
matters,
won't be able to shoot accurately, for
but
example,
I know
and your wounds won't heal as smoothly.
if you call them a certain amount of
Keep an eye
times
on your
and
stamina
keep
so you
looking
don't
at
run out.
this, you'll eventually
Cover
get
lots of
more
stamina,
personal
you can hunt
data
for
to look
local
at.
flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
I don't know if it
My
matters
only
each
weapon
time
is the
we
Mark 22 Hush Puppy
scroll
tranquilizer
through
gun.
like this,
That's
if
right.
that matters,
It's been fitted with its own suppressor.
or if we go back and forth.
However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team
It is
will be in
amazing
charge of
how long it
monitoring your
takes to
physical
get through
condition,
some of this shit. I'm
acting
gonna make
as a
sure I
medic,
get
so
ready to write this
as well
down.
as recording your mission data.
I don't think you need to write it down,
a
but
member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
I think that's one of the first times
She's
that it's
also
been
in
different.
charge
Now, you
of
notice that
recording your mission
145?
data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency.
That's important too. We'll save a lot.
140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you?
The boss. Here we
A
go.
legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
So it's with
She also
her
helped me
permission, like
plan
it's with
this
her
mission.
setup
She and
that
I were at
this
SAS together.
organization's
Jack,
going
is that
through.
you?
Fox,
How
right?
many years has it
Hold on.
been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
Mind you, 5 years.
You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to
He
know
listed
about
how long
fighting
it's been since they
techniques.
last talked to each
I
other.
taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you,
Spam
Jack.
detected.
I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly
A
true.
little bit of
if
an
he's a
audio
career
fuck
soldier.
up there.
Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms.
Only
The
Sith
enemies we
deal in
fight
absolutes.
are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together.
And then
during World
after
War
that
II
whole
was a
fucking
Snake,
drama
the
drop,
Cobra unit, a group
That's
of heroes
right.
that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh,
so
one more
got a
thing,
lot to go
boss.
over to
Yes.
this conversation
It's
here.
good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC, close quarters combat.
There's so much you can do
I've
with
been in
this
Green Berets
in this
for the
game.
past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
So we're about 40 minutes in, and I've not really played the game yet. Right? We've basically gone forward a little bit,
Commencing virtuous mission now.
and now we get to play for a little bit, right? Now, mind you, what we could do is we could do a lot of codec calls and have conversations with the paramedic and Major Tom and the boss, but I pretty much am going to go through a lot of that as we go, right? Like, I'm just going to yap about it. So, biggest thing to yap about right off the rip is the codename, right? We are currently playing as who we know as Big Boss. We get it off of Big Boss, off of Boss. Like, we're a soldier to surpass even them. but we don't get that till much later. Okay, let's not get ate by the crocodiles. But one of the things you could do, wrong button, if I'm not mistaken.
The gauge below your life gauge is
There's
your
going to be a
stamina
lot
gauge.
of like useless information,
It shows, as the name
right?
suggests, you run
Well,
out
not
of
useless, but
stamina.
information that I already know about.
As you consume stamina, your
I
natural
wonder if
life
it matters if we
regeneration
actually listen to it,
slows,
or we can
and
like
your
skip
hands
through it.
shake more.
Because, hold up.
That area is home
Yeah.
to a reticulated python.
So, she'll
The
go
reticulated
through
python is said to be the longest snake in the world.
and
The
talk
biggest
about
ones can
different
grow up to
creatures
10
you can
meters in
see
length.
and stuff like that.
Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them.
Paramedic
they
is
have a
Dr.
highly ferocious
Clark.
temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs.
Dr. Clark is the
Their
doctor
most
that actually ends up
distinguishing feature
working
is the mesh
on
pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective
the
natural
cyborg
camouflage.
ninja,
If
Gray
you think
Fox,
there might
right?
be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there. It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun. I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare.
That's a mechanic in this game.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
And what was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty good.
Good. I can hardly wait.
So again, not something I'm going to go through. Like, I'm probably going to go through this game a bit quicker than I normally would, and I'm just going to talk about a lot of the stuff, but I want to bring up certain codec conversations that occur or are special, and a conversation like that is kind of special because at the end of every codec call, if you talk about a unique animal you've not eaten, Snake will go, oh, how do they taste? He'll ask how they taste, and Paramedic will eventually say, based off of what it is, how they taste. Hell, there are certain fruits that you could get a hold of that will actually taste different if you like eat something, then talk to them, and they say, well, oh, you're supposed to cut it this way and it's supposed to taste good. It will actually change the taste of what you're eating. The same goes with certain meals that your character enjoys like a lot. If you eat too much of it, they'll enjoy it less, right? But if you eat enough of something that doesn't taste good, it will taste better. So like, I want to talk about this, Camion.
I see you've got yourself a Baltic hornet's nest. Baltic hornets are a variety of hornets that inhabit that area. The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nest are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food. Honey can also be used as a burn ointment. When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective
That's why it gives
coating
you
over the skin.
the ointment as well
When you
as
knock down a
the
hornet's
nest.
a burn ointment will appear along with it, so don't forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out, so be careful.
But yeah, there were like probably thousands of codec conversations. Something else to keep in mind is how many times you can talk to the boss and stuff like that.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when
I
you're
might
sneaking
Google
through the jungle.
A list of
To
codecs
use
or
camouflage,
radio
First,
frequencies.
press the start button to go to the survival viewer.
I'm not gonna like listen to all these like this.
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you
Yeah, because it's telling you a lot of game mechanics.
you can only use CQC to grab enemies.
Yeah, it's a lot of just basic mechanics and stuff like that. There's a tutorial you can kind of go through. Oh, I have the single action army. This is something I've unlocked. These are weapons that you unlock because of the previous playthrough we did. So we could kind of be cheeky with it. you can also like hold things to get conversations about them. The camera, that's something we unlocked as well. And life medicine. Okay. So like we could pull up certain things and then have a conversation about it. Also, there's a way to like do other tricks outside of this, but you can do stuff like that, right? Now, normally you'd have to use your knife to kill them.
I see you've captured an Indian gavial.
Alright, well, she's talking about this. I'll be right
The
back.
Indian gavial is a crocodile that originally lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again. Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures, but the ones in the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
I know I fucking know my conversation. I've listened to these Kodak calls so many fucking times that I timed it that perfectly. I played this game too much. Anyways, I'm next time I play this, we'll be into the second area, and I'm gonna have a whole bunch of radio frequencies to call, because there's actual like music you can listen to in this game. And like also, if we go and eat the Indian gavel, or however you pronounce it, right? Consume. Not too bad, right? We can also have a conversation with paramedic after we do that, talking about it.
Snake, that area should... Eat food to recover... I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate?
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay. But what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan.
So there's also save conversations.
Saving
Right.
the game, Snake?
These are pretty good. We'll do new file. Might as well keep a data of it.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
She
What is it?
talks about
It's a movie.
movies.
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the
It's
chance.
funny because you watch the
It's mostly
old,
mindless
like, the
fun, but it's
Godzilla
also got a
that she's
serious
talking about.
anti-nuke message as well.
The flamethrower they use is literally
You'll
this.
just have
It's
to
like a
go to
lighter
Japan.
held sideways. It's fucking
If
hilarious.
you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
I love that.
Of course. Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
So, like I said, we're gonna have a bunch of those that we're gonna do, right? I don't know if you have to listen to the conversations or if you just have to have the conversations go through. But there's a couple times where you can call. There's a conversation where before you get something, after you collect it, and after you eat it. But you can also have different ones where if you eat it, then call her, or you call her, eat it, then call her again. And some of them actually have interesting effects that you could lose if you have conversations and you hear shit, right? So like later on in the game, if I forget to do the conversation, I might do the conversation in the future when we get there, but at a certain point, if you find these glowing mushrooms and you eat them, they recharge your battery, right? But I'm pretty sure if you have a codec conversation about them, they'll be like, that doesn't work. It will actually stop working. So it's like the batteries recharge because of, like, the power of your mind, right? That kind of thing. Because it's actually, like, they'll talk about food that tastes, like, if you eat it without talking to somebody, it tastes horrible, right? But if you talk to them afterwards, it might taste better or what have you. This game is ridiculous with the way that it does certain stuff.
AK-47s and grenades.
It is funny how this is pretty much like
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory
Metal
is
Gear
already a
Solid.
violation of
The Metal Gear
international law.
Solid games are
Now,
basically the
let
same
find
game
out the
over and
CIA
over
and
again.
American
They really
government
are,
involved.
if you think about them.
Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited.
Metal Gear Solid
Don't
5 is
engage
like one of the
in
only
combat
ones that's
either.
different.
This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The uniform option lets
We should
you pick
actually
your
have more
uniform,
camouflage
while the face
because
option lets you
of
change your face paint.
New Game Plus.
Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
So we should have extra cam. We do. Yep. We have the snow. We have the Kabuki, the Oyama, the Infinity, which gives us infinity, like unlimited ammo, I believe. And we've got Ocelots. No, wait, no. We don't have Ocelots. No, okay, so we have the pain, the fear, the end, the fury, sorrow, Volgans, ours, Ocelots, I think, and that one's just I don't know where we got that one at. The tuxedo, the sneaking suit, which... Okay, yeah, that's all the shit we got in New Game Plus. Spider is really good, but it drains our stuff. I think we can do that without... Oh, should I? Should I just for shiggles do that and be like, whatever? I'm trying to think about what are a couple things we can do here. We might accidentally end up killing this dude. If we do, I won't be bothered by it because this playthrough we don't have to worry about stealth or no kills or anything like that.
Who's that?
I fucked up. Messed up a little bit. I moved and dude spotted me and I didn't realize he was going to. I'm trying to remember how to hold them up without slitting their throats. It should refresh where he's at too. I guess not. All right. Oh yeah, that thing right there, that green thing you see, that is a Kappa. Oh, there he is. Yeah, that thing right there, a little Kappa. You shoot it, it'll make a little ribbit sound. I think if you shoot all those in each area, something happens, like you can get a special thing.
Who's that?
Alright. Hesitating a bit, and that hesitation is screwing me up. Nope, not what I wanted to do.
Who was that?
So don't hold it. shit. Don't want him to call that in reinforcements, and they'll come from this location that I'm going to, and they'll spot me fucking with dude over there. So that should reset him. There we go.
Speak.
There we go.
The crocodiles are ferocious.
Speak.
Bastard. Who's that?
Somebody said, "What's wrong?" Anyways, you could talk to him a bunch like that, like tell him to speak, and get information about location or frequencies that you can call for the radio. Because you can actually get frequencies for like alert stage, all clear stage, stuff like that.
Answer me. If you climb trees, there's fruit.
Speak.
Inside fallen trees.
Speak.
Bastard.
There's probably a better way to do that, in all honesty. I don't know what it is yet. But you can definitely practice with the CQC mechanics and actually figure out what works and how to disarm people and all kinds of crazy shit. I also wanted to make sure we weren't in caution phase because there's a cute little... Oh, do we not get it here? I guess we don't get it here. If you enter this area without alert phase like that, Snake will look and see, and he'll look at the hornet nest and get a smirk on his face because you can get the hornets to chase them and allow you to get far. Should we just say screw it and shoot them all?
HQ respond.
This is just mean. There we go. Where the hell are the other asshats? They know nothing.
HQ, please respond. Huh? Damn it!
Showing off a little bit. Okay, good. We're good here. I definitely could be doing this a bit more stealthily, but I'm saying screw it and just having fun. Talking about most of what is important. Because there's a lot of conversations, but a lot of the conversations that start early on. Alright, good talk. Are more about mechanics of the game. We're being very cheeky. Very cheeky. But yeah, a lot of the conversations we can't really do right yet because we're not at that point. We're gonna get through this, and after we get through this, we'll
factory where Sokolov is supposedly
we'll
being
have a lot of
held.
cutscenes to watch, and we'll have a wrap up
Dump.
soon. Mind you, that's like in an hour from now, and I'm like trying to keep in mind that how long the cutscenes are.
I
Oh,
can't
excuse me.
see Sokolov from here.
So about an hour,
Security is pretty tight.
we're gonna be chilling for.
There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory.
I could get through this
Holding
without
in a
alerting
room in the
anybody.
northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov
Whether or not I
back
will, I don't
alive. You
know.
must not be exposed to any kind of danger. And do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
So far, there's really not much else to go off of outside of what I talked about, how Dr. Clark is paramedic, right? That's like the most important piece of information you have so far. There's one over there to the right. Alright, boom. Like I said, quick, easy. Probably could have did it without knocking people out, but I wanted to get through these cutscenes, and we have like three more big cutscenes, I think. Some of the pictures that we saw early on when we were talking about what weapon he was working on with Major Zero.
Sokolov. Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
We have no idea who this is,
Never heard of him.
right?
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans.
That facility is nothing like the one that we're at right now, by the way.
Secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Where in most cases, for a first playthrough, you're probably killing all those soldiers.
They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside.
No, they would not.
Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
I mean, it's a shame we're standing around talking about shit instead of moving.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
The boss.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
A little bit of an audio issue.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Okay. Like I said, buckle up, because most of this is cutscene from here on out. Cutscene, codec calls, and
Major,
like
this is Snake.
10 seconds of
Sokolov
gameplay.
is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them.
No, we didn't.
There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
The only reason we
We lost
have that
contact
is
with the
because
boss
of
some
us
time ago.
killing people
What
earlier.
happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out.
We lost contact with the boss. That's important. We'll worry about that in the next, what, 20 minutes? I don't know how long this cutscene's about to be. It's one of my favorite ones, though. I love this. Like, what are you doing, dude? A little bit of an image burn from the previous thing.
Freeze!
There we go. Oh, never mind.
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
I wonder who this could be.
the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Ocelot.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I love this. Not like no opportunity to shoot or anything, just gonna sit there and die. Shows the ricochet.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
So now if you ask questions while you play through a game, you wonder why the hell would he be expecting the boss here? Also, hello with the cat meow. That always gets me. I don't forget about it, but it always gets me. Like, what the fuck is up with the meow?
Stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Now, mind you, they were about to shoot us. Yo, greetings and good day.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one!
Streams your feral?
Whoa!
Anyways, how are you doing today? It has, because I remember I asked that same question with the first time I saw you chatting. Or not ask a question, but you were in the chat, I should say. I'm a bit inebriated. Drinking some root beer alcohol and took a couple puffs, so I'm just chilling today. We're going through this section of Metal Gear Solid 3, and then we'll be like calling it for the evening. I might just play Metal Gear Solid 3 all day tomorrow and Sunday. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Or I'm gonna continue playing Fallout and then Metal Gear Solid. We'll see.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
And that is how we get Revolver Ocelot.
You filthy American dog!
Get absolutely dunked on.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
K.O. Oh, it's a great series. Ah, now it came back to me. I'm like, what game was it that you showed up on? Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. I did play through Red Dead Redemption 1 shortly after that, but it was like a 15 frames per second run through, unless...
Major, do you read me?
I read you.
The guy on the ground,
He's
he's probably from a couple of different things, but he's Ocelot. He's
Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel.
throughout all the games.
GRU colonel?
Part of an internal.
This is a spoiler playthrough, so if you want to go through this without being spoiled, I wouldn't recommend sitting through. I haven't gone through and said a lot, but hold on.
Sokolov
They're
is being
talking
guided
about
by the KGB and hunted
the
by GRU?
Russian
Snake,
shit going on.
sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
Oh, he,
I like it. Something
the
about the whole
character
thing
is
stinks.
supposed to
I
be
agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself.
technically Russian-American.
We're counting on you.
I know who that character's parents are, so half Russian, half, like, I don't know what the certain characters are, but they're supposed to be, like, Russian-leaning, right? There's a whole fucking plot line in this game that you could miss if you don't do the right codec call at the right time, right? And while I do want to go over spoilers, I kind of want to have certain information to go over. Exhibit A for information. If he dies here, if we take him out, watch what happens. Action button. There we go. Hold on. Did that not kill him? Where the hell did he go? What? Oh, there he is. Okay. Ocelot is dead.
Snake,
If
what
Ocelot...
have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
You've created a time paradox, and it will literally spell out time paradox if you let it. Because Ocelot dying here, that's not how the future goes, because this takes place way before any of the Metal Gear Solid games, right? This is technically where you can go to get the first historical lore dump, if you will, behind all the Metal Gear games. Because without the events of this game happening the way they do, you don't get the rest of the games. Now, mind you, the timeline, I don't know exactly how it goes, but I know it goes like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, Portable Ops, Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 4. And then after Metal Gear Solid 4, it goes Metal Gear Solid Rise and Revengeance. No, this is not Snake. This is Big Boss we're playing as, which is actually, they're a very important character throughout the lore, but if you start by playing Metal Gear Solid, you really don't know much about them. You only know that it's what your character, Snake, Solid Snake, because we're Naked Snake, right? This is our code name through this, Naked Snake. But through Metal Gear Solid, well, Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid, you play as Solid Snake, which this is also the start of Foxhound as well. But they don't call it Foxhound, they call it Fox to begin with. More cutscene. Let's go. But no, this is taking place during this what 60 something, and it's
You okay?
after the Kennedy assassination
Spetsnaz?
during the Cold War.
The best crew has to offer.
That's like the time frame it takes place.
I'm finished.
And this is basically kind of showing you how the
I'll get you out of
Patriots
here, I
get
promise.
started.
And we got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look,
Now, mind you, we're supposed to be in a hurry here, right? We're supposed to be on the move. It wouldn't have mattered if we did move, but
That's what they were making.
that's the Shagohod.
yes, the Shagohod. The dreaded behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
What's really funny is that how that looks is actually similar to things that you fight later on
Finished.
No.
in
This is only the end of Phase 1.
Peace Walker
It won't be truly finished until we complete
Phase 2.
Phase
Phase 2.
the weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War.
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
This Metal Gear game is hailed as the best in the series by most individuals. I really enjoy it. Gameplay wise, this might be my favorite, with a couple of like tweaks here and there. I'm curious about what the remake. The remake might be the best Metal Gear game. Metal Gear Delta. That's coming out whenever it's coming out. This was on PlayStation 2. Back in 2004, I think this game came out on PlayStation 2. So for when this game came out, mind you, the graphics are fucking up right now, but when it looks at its best, that's how it normally would run. But the emulator I'm on, I might have something open that's kind of fucked up. The guy that wants to see his kids is definitely dying. Oh, yeah, but not yet. Way later. They die way later. But you fucking... yeah. The death flag's on him immediately. I want to see my family again. Oh, well, you might as well just fucking put a bullet in your head now. Like right here. Right here, how it looks now. This is how the game looked. Right now it's fucked up, the visual shit. But this game looks really fucking good for when it came out. Right? Also, you're about to see the bosses that we're going to face in this game. The final boss is in front of us right now. This is the first boss right here. Second boss? The one who just picked up Sokolov? Yeah, first boss is that one right there. Actually, technically, the end could be the second boss we take out, but I think if we don't take them out then, they're the third. The Fury is the fourth. Volgan's fifth?
My friends.
Yeah, Pain,
Let us fight together
Fear,
again.
I have waited long
and
for this.
Fury.
We will
Volgan Joy.
more.
Yeah.
Welcome back, boss.
I don't know why we're getting that, like, weird image burn shit. We didn't get that, like, we didn't get this last time. Whatever. That's annoying to me. Sorrow, also. Hold on. R1. I think this is one of the first hidden R1s you can get. I'm holding R1 right now. Or maybe it's not a hidden R1. I forgot they show you him.
Is he crying?
He's a ghost, by the way. He's dead. Yeah, you can press the R1 button at certain points in this game, and it will show you a first-person view, and there are some R1 prompts that they don't show. So, like, if you're holding R1, it'll go first-person, but you don't know about that until that happens. Oh, why is it doing that visual shit? That's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like this, but it keeps doing that weird fucking visual thing. Also, this game does have supernatural elements to it.
Colonel Vogan.
Vogan can shoot lightning out of his fingertips.
And to my unit.
Boss.
That's boss, or the boss.
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union.
Now we're green right now, or
Sokolov is a
greener.
gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying,
These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
yeah, that the Ghost's boss fight is a unique
disciples?
boss fight. It's basically like
Are we taking him with us?
you get to the
This one is
end
still just a
and you
child.
die,
Pure for us cobras.
but I'll explain that when we get to it. It's
He is not
later
yet
down the
found
line.
an emotion to carry into battle.
the boss fight is weird.
What are you talking about?
Not yet emotion to carry into battle.
Think you can pull the trigger?
They're classifying the name of her unit, the Cobra unit, right? Like the fear, the pain, the end, the sorrow, the fury, and she is the joy. And that's all supposed to be associated with the emotions they're carrying into battle. So when she's battling, she's feeling joy, right? At least that's what the theme behind it is. Like the quotation mark thing, right?
You've seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
Those are rifle rounds, by the way. He's using as, like he's gonna punch us with those.
He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him.
Oh, Hideo Kojima's got a lot of weird fucking ideas. If you ever tune in when I'm playing a game called Death Stranding, that's another one of Hideo Kojima's games. You can't come with us, right? You about ready to get fucked up? Because I'm about ready to get fucked up. Now, mind you, this individual that is fucking about to fuck us up is our mentor, right?
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research.
The new blood has been rejected.
Shagohod is ours.
That character?
Drift away.
There's a lot. Oh, trust me. Wait. Save your smash.
My place is with them now.
Wait till you see. Well, tomorrow we'll see the next character. But cold. We got a lot of cutscene to go over. I keep remembering how much we gotta do. There's a codec call because we got fucked up, where paramedic has to go through all the things that we gotta do. Then it's gonna have us go to the menu and repair ourselves, and after we repair ourselves, there's another cutscene that leads into a, do you want to save the game? And after we save the game, that's when I'm going to quit out of this. I am gonna step away for a moment to go to the restroom while this plays. I should be back while she's explaining some stuff.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left analog stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left analog stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture...
Fucking called it. I've played this game too many times. I've played this game too many fucking times.
For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood...
I should be back when she's in the middle of explaining shit.
If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and
But
treat
yeah,
those wounds.
one of the things I talked about earlier is actually that character there, that paramedic, is somebody we find out about in Metal Gear Solid 1. We hear about that character whenever we hear about Dr. Clark. I love how I know that. I just know this by heart. I know this by heart. Smash for sure. Paramedic's character? Oh, it's a broken bone. There's so many different injuries you can actually receive in this game. I mean, from my perspective, you got a lot of different tastes for individuals that play this game, right? Maybe your like gets into Major Tom. Maybe you want to smash Major Tom. Well, let me tell you a little something funny. As someone who can be the meat in any sandwich, or even the bread in any sandwich, nah, Major Tom doesn't do much for me.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just
So,
stay where you
even
are.
if you
We'll
did
drop
swing
a
that way,
recovery balloon. Can you set
I
it
can
up?
understand. I can understand why you have the nah.
Shagohod.
Like, that kind of shit I love. That overdramatic fucking reaching out for him. Like they're both reaching out for each other from that distance. You can't even see each other from that distance. You know? I love that, though. I love that overdramatized bullshit. Man, it sucks that we're getting that visual issue. I'm gonna have to look into it and see if there's a way to fix that. There has to be. Maybe it's just because of... I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, trust me. Oh, that character right there. The blonde chick in the background. That is probably the most desired to be Smash character for the fandom of this game. Also, he wants to smash that rocket. Look at him.
Excellent. A great success.
Great success.
Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
That character right there.
To do with the girl?
To the right, the girl. What are we gonna do with the girl? The girl in question.
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Oh yeah. But wait. Wait until you see the other persona of this character, because this character is not who they seem. I'll say that much right now.
Fast, my dear.
And this is more of a hint at who they are, for real. Look at this. No, look.
A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
That's a one-shot thing. That's like a spy gun, basically, like a James Bond. She puts that up under his thing and presses it down. You know, that's the idea behind that. KGB, a spy.
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov.
So they're not who they seem. They're a spy. There's something up with them. Also, this is a weapon that really exists. It's never been used, obviously, because it's supposed to be like a rocket-propelled nuke is what that is. Like, you know, like a
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
the Fallout weapon, the Fallout nuke launcher.
Colonel.
That's based off of a concept. Yeah, that's a real thing that exists. They never use it like this because it's like it doesn't make sense to use it. But if you look that up, hold up. The Davy Crockett nuclear device. The M28 or M29 Davy Crockett weapon system was a tactical nuclear recoilless smoothbore gun for firing the M388 nuclear projectile armed with the W54 nuclear warhead that was developed by the United States during the Cold War. It was the first project assigned to the United States Army Weapon Command in Rock Island, Illinois. It remains one of the smallest nuclear weapon systems ever built, with a yield of 20 tons of TNT. It is named after American folk hero, soldier, and Congressman Davy Crockett. After I save here, we're going to wrap up for the Fat Man, right? By 1950, there had been rapid developments made to the use of nuclear weapons after the detonation of Little Boy and Fat Man in 1945. These developments paved the way for nuclear warheads to be created at smaller sizes. And if you actually look at the wiki page of the Davy Crockett nuclear device, sorry about the flashbang, right here, obviously it's not the handheld that you see there, but yeah, this is a real fucking thing. Obviously, it's not exactly what they show, but program documentation for the weapon indicates that the weapon had a circular error probable of less than 160 feet. That's not good. 160 feet? You don't want something like that. But yeah, that right there is you would not be able to get yourself one that was able to be launched. You would get a demilitarized version of it. So we're gonna save right here, and we're gonna wrap up for the evening. Tomorrow we're probably gonna start with Fallout 3, but I'm not 100% sure. When we start with this, we probably will get a bit more into the spoiler territory. Some men just want to watch the world burn. But yeah, this is our second playthrough. Like I said, we will be continuing this tomorrow, more than likely. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So, that is going to be it for me, for you, YouTube. Again, not sure if I'm going to play Fallout 3 tomorrow. If I do, I'll start with Fallout 3 for a couple of hours, then move to Metal Gear. If you have any questions about the Metal Gear games, ask, and I will more than likely be able to answer them. There are certain games I haven't played, but I have most of the important lore down, locked away in the vault that is my mind. Like, to the point where, as I proved, I could say, hey, I'll be back when she's explaining some stuff. And I come back and she's explaining some stuff. I played this game too many times to where I know how long certain codec calls are. Anyways, that is going to be it for me, for you, YouTube, Twitch. I do thank you for stopping by, and I do hope you enjoyed your stay here at the Kingdom. If you have and are new here and haven't already, be sure to become a citizen today via subscribing to this channel as well as my main channel. Links will be down in the description below through all my links if you're watching on YouTube. Exclamation point links like so. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow me on Twitch. Catch me when I go live at 6 p.m. EST EDT Friday through Monday. Invite link to the community Discord, where you can always get the most accurate notifications of whenever I do go live. If I'm going to be a little bit late or early to a stream outside of a half hour, or as long as I know I'm going to be late, as well as where you can communicate with other citizens of the Kingdom. Or whatever else catches your fancy through all my links. Until next time, take care and have a good one.